future folks that join this. Actually, this will be great. This could be training.
Yep.
Okay.
So based on what internal SLA that HAR we have three main internal SLA, which is
Yeah.
reservation management, hosting management, and post-hosting management.
Okay.
And when I try to look on the HR, on the BI, on HR marketing and something, they are making campaign by themselves like this. Yeah, I think you already know on the marketing what happened
Yeah.
in the marketing that
Definitely.
they relate like this with their internal SLA.
Okay.
And I'm trying to make it like this. At the very beginning, I'm trying to make that it is the campaign is per source of booking, let's say from
Yeah.
Airbnb, booking.com, and like that. But then I realized that it is actually already on the BI side, right, sir? So
Yes.
yeah, so I won't make it here. And then I realized that marketing is also have two different position here.
Yes.
In the BI, they're working just as a content, but here they're working as market building itself. So they have two different position on the
Yes.
company.
Very
So
good.
you will be able to work on BI, and then they will have their own way on the marketing side, which is for the market building. So here's my proposal about how can we work on the meeting. Is the first is we divide the every SLA into new list here, sir. The first is reservation. So whole of the reservation will be Nadine. The second one is guest service and communication, or I call it guest engagement. On the whole SLA will be me, and also the last one is guest loyalty will be here. It will be Cynthia. If then why? I need to open. Sorry, sir. I need to open Slack. The link. I lost the link. Release. So, Mas Bayu made what the chapter funnel SLA, right, sir? So, in case to make it recorded easily, every people can just update it, and then it will be also easily updated on Mas Bayu here SLA.
Okay.
So, trying to take a look first on in chapter SLA funnel. Yup, here. Yep, Nadine was here, which is counting for the inquiry conversion, request conversion, and also another direct deals conversion, and also Airbnb response rate, which is I already put here. So every time Nadine are updating her SLA here, it will be easier to update it here. So we don't double it, or we don't do double work or something, right? Like that.
See. Okay.
And then me here, I'm working as the guest check-in and check-in out, payout schedule, and related to payout to make sure that that the revenue is keep on our company, and also the quality of check-in and communication rate, because I am handling with guest engagement.
Okay.
And it's already there as well, sir. And the last one is guest loyalty is about review and paid review management, which is also here on Bayu Mas Bayu funnel. It's about review rate and also review response rate.
Okay.
So that's basically it, sir. So I'm trying to think that maybe we can update it once per week to make it easier, because Mas Bayu also need this to be updated to twice per I think twice per month. So it's every 2 weeks like that. So that's my proposal, sir.
That's actually a very good start. I think you push this in the correct direction. So then, not my only, but one of the first things that I've seen is this, which is, how would I put it? Keep it there. Keep it there. You're going to be reporting your stats 3 times now. So once on Bayou's funnel, once on the BI funnel, and once here on this funnel. Is that? Don't you think that's a little bit too much? Right? So you're going to be reporting the same exact information, pretty much on all these funnels, right? You're just duplicating that type of reporting. So ideally, you don't want that, and the reason for that is because when you report 3 times, generally there's no single source of truth, which means that at any given time, if I were to, let's say, look at a particular funnel or a particular campaign, which one has the most recent update, right? Which one can I expect to have the most recent update? Is it the one in HAR? Is it the one in BI? Or is it Bayou's funnel? So you kind of have have three sets of reporting. Um, you are right that essentially you're trying to do the right thing, right? You're looking at marketing to see how they structure their campaigns, and you're looking at BI to see how they structure their campaigns. But also fundamentally, you gotta remember your SLAs are a little bit different. Okay, so your a campaign structure is more for when you have to deliver a end, um, let's say an end result, like a certain number of deals per month. Okay, so if you're trying to deliver a certain number of deals per month, that type of structure works pretty well with it. The reason it works well is because it allows you to see the stage of
Mhm.
each step of the process. Now, let's go back to what you're leading here. What you're leading here is a little bit different. Okay, so think of it this way, Andre. Think of a car manufacturing line. Okay, so there is an assembly factory that makes. What's your favorite car?
Oh, yeah, let's say Volkswagen.
Okay, let's say Volkswagen, right? So it's making like a new Volkswagen. So sort of like somebody has to build the chassis, the big
Yeah.
part of the car. Somebody has to sort of put on the wheels, the paint, the all these different parts until the car finishes, right? Okay, so that is like a campaign for the like BI, right? So we take one part from marketing, we take one part from HAR, we take one part from uh, actually, yeah, one part from marketing, one part for HAR, right? That's pretty much it. One part from the community at the top too for all the community development programs. One part community, one part HAR, one part marketing, and that becomes the final campaign. Now, going back to the Volkswagen analogy, what you're doing is you're supplying a part, right?
Hmm.
You're
Yeah.
supplying like the chassis, which is the main part. So then, what you got to do is you got to break down that particular work into um, into some sort of system that you're measuring, and then you have to ask yourself, okay, what is changing that? So instead of, I would say, breaking it, your SLAs are fine already, Andre. Right? The SLAs that you have on the left already, if you go down over there, those are actually pretty good already. What you got to look at is okay. What you have right now are programs. So you have programs that support SLA A. You have
Mm.
programs that support SLA B. You have programs that support SLA C. Right? So that's great. Each of your members can run those programs. Right? All they need to report from their particular program is what is the end result, right? What is the conversion rate on the OTA reservations? What is the conversion rate on the direct responses? That's pretty much it. Because at the end of the day, what you're delivering up is that result, right? So if you deliver a 50% conversion rate on inquiries, if you deliver a 80% conversion rate on reviews, then you've done your job, right? So what you're doing here at this moment is your campaigns are what are you doing? What are your team members doing to support the SLA? So it goes actually to a little bit differently, right? So instead of breaking it down into OTA reservations or direct reservations, think about okay, what is it that Nadine will actually do to improve the inquiry conversion rate? Maybe she will, do inquiry analysis, right? Or maybe and then we'll see what the result of that is. Inquiry analysis isn't a result, it's a step leading to the final result, right? Perhaps a training program to educate people on how to answer inquiries. So we can monitor how many times that's been administered and what is the end result. So your campaigns look a little bit different. Your campaigns
Mm.
look now like, okay, what is it that you're doing to try to change it? How many times has that been done? And what is the end result? It can actually be a one stage funnel. It could be like, let's say, training program. Okay, great. Tell us how many times this training program has been administered. All right. It's been administered 3 times. Great. What was the change in the inquiry response? It's gone from 8.6 to 9.5. And that's it. That's all you really need to do. Report the activity, report the result. So it's actually a simplified version of a normal campaign. Why? Because it's just one layer of the campaign. You don't need to have many different stacks, right? So what I'm saying is this: that each person will essentially come up with their own program, right? Own campaign to support the SLA that they currently are supporting. And then that supports the external SLAs. The internal SLAs support the external SLAs, right? So then each person just comes up with, like Cynthia, loyalty program. Great. Okay. Loyalty program. How many you got to measure kind of like what is the activity of the loyalty program? What are you doing? Okay? Is it how many outreach you've done, right? How many people have written reviews? That could be it, right? That could just be a simple way of measuring what the activity versus the result are. Now, that's pretty much all you need to do. So you just need to measure, okay, how many times has this program been running and what is the end result? And then that allows you and also the person you're leading to understand a simple thing, which is what is my efficiency? If I've done this 100 times and I'm not changing the needle, right? If I'm not moving that metric, maybe I should not prioritize it so much. Maybe it's time to pivot, right? So you can just look at a very simple number. You can look at the number of activity and the change in result. Done, right? And that would allow your team to budget, and that would also tell your team when it's time to innovate. Okay, so yeah, for you, it could be like, all right, maybe you start a guest engagement program, right? During their stay, maybe you tell them a joke, or you invite them to an interesting party that's happening, or you whatever you do, right? You kind of bring them in. Um, so then you just measure, okay, I've talked to 15 guests, and 30 have written great reviews. And congratulations, by the way, for the superhost. That's amazing. 2 superhost profiles.
Yeah.
So that's a great way. You could say, okay, what led to that? What was the activity that led to that particular result? That's a great result, by the way. That is proof that what we're doing works. Um, so then that's kind of like how I would structure it. And then you got to teach the team this particular idea, right? Like what they're doing is you don't have to build the entire car. You just got to build the part. But what is the part? The part just has a very simple thing to do. It just has to match what the other people, their SLA expectation is. You need to make this part convert at 15%. Okay, so then what you do is, okay, I'm gonna keep on practicing on this part until it converts at 15%, and when it's ready and I integrate it back into the big picture, then it will just like flow beautifully, right? You'll have this kind of thing. So that's pretty much it. Does that make sense, Andre?
Yeah. I have questions, sir.
Yeah,
So let's say the campaign is loyalty program, right?
yeah.
The funnel will be, I set the funnel like this. Nadine will be handling the guests, how many guests that check out, reporting that.
Mhm.
And funnel will be, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to write. That's Nadine. uh, Nadine, and here's Cynthia.
Yeah,
So Nadine will be reporting who's going to check out, and I have to, because I'm handling the guest engagement, I'll be guest outreach again to remind them or something, to send them something. And then Cynthia will be reporting the guest who's check-in, who's leaving review. So we know who's people. Uh, we know every step what people doing on this campaign, right?
yeah. That's pretty good. That's
Okay.
that's a good way to sort of zoom in and see what's happening. Yeah, that's good. Yep.
Question again, sir. Who's the one who is it the responsibility of the CL to pop up initiate the campaigns, or everyone, sir?
You need a campaign champion, right?
Yep.
So loyalty program is essentially Cynthia's champion.
Yep.
Um, in this particular regard, let me just take a look at that. Yeah,
Mhm.
take a look at that again. In that particular regard, you might. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's total checkout, guest outreach, and okay, total checkout, guest outreach, and then guest leave review. Yep. Okay, that looks okay. That looks okay. Um, Yeah. Okay. I see. I see where you're coming from. Okay. In this particular funnel, guest outreach should actually be Cynthia, right? Because it's her program. Unless
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
for you. And then guest review. That's essentially it's more like funnel A, and then B1, and then B2. Okay.
yes, yes, yes,
So
yes. I
B1 is the activity, and B2 is the result. So I think we need to just make that clear. Cynthia is by doing her particular form of outreach, changing the effective outcome, right? And then she's just reporting her result. Okay, good. Yeah, yeah, that would be cool. How much input are you receiving, and what is your output, and then what is your activity? Okay, cool. And that would allow you as a lead to understand what's going on, right? You can see
Mhm,
that,
mhm.
okay, you've been given this much input, but your output is not very good. So let's take a look at your activity. Oh, okay, it's because you don't have any activity. That's probably why there's no significant
Yeah, yeah,
output, right? So then you can see what's the relationship there. Okay, all right, great. All right, that's good. That's good. Okay, so you got it. That's really good for a loyalty program. Cynthia, of course, is the champion for those type of programs, right?
yeah.
And
That's yeah, yeah.
what I would do is I would call this loyalty program 1.0 or something, right? I would call it give it like a sort of a number with the expectation that it should evolve over time, meaning
Oh, yeah.
that this isn't the end thing that you do. Like it either will work, and then if it works, you should try to improve it and make it better. So like 1.1, or it doesn't work at all, and you go screw this. I'm going to try something different. Loyalty program 2.0, right? And you're gonna try to iterate on that. Okay, great. So that's a great example of how that would work. Um,
Sure.
and yes, sir, Andre.
So let's say this is in the program
Yeah.
campaign, and then this will be hold the pivot of this campaign. Yeah, whichever campaign that someone involved with, you, right, sir?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially, the campaign is a dashboard of what their results are from whatever pivots they're working on. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like whatever you're doing as a pivot, it should be supporting this campaign. The campaign is sort of like, yeah, the visual dashboard. It's giving us, because you see, certain things are not campaigns yet. Like the inquiry analysis. Okay, does that actually fix anything? No, it's just a way of setting new expectations, right? It doesn't actually change the way that things are going to work. It's good to know that, but it doesn't necessarily move the needle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we need to see is how much is the needle being moved to a direction that is at least closer to what we should be seeing. Okay, um, we can see it in BI. We can totally see it in BI from one update to the next update. Have we gone up? Have we gone down? And that is something I'm going to show you actually in a second too as well. So what should be actually a top of line number here on the report is this is simpler. Did the percentage go up or down since the last um, let's say check, right? And if it
Okay.
went up, why? If it went down, why? That's it. So you got that. You got great, great. So the second one is inquiry analysis, right? It's not really that's not the point. It's the inquiry optimization program.
Oh, yeah.
So inquiry optimization. Now this can be implemented a number of different ways. Maybe Nadine tries to use coaching. She just gets everybody together once a week to talk about how we answer inquiries, right? So we do that inquiry
Mm,
practice. That could be one way. Maybe another way could be we set up like a leaderboard. We set up, okay, who closed how many deals every week, and she could just update us on that. But whatever those are sort of abstracted away, right? Those are not like
pivot, right, sir?
a what?
Is that a pivot, right?
Yeah, that's a pivot. That's a
Yeah.
pivot. Yeah, pivot. Yeah. So those are essentially things that we don't really need to know, right? I don't really need to know what is your program, or the chapters doesn't really need to know what your program is. But the chapter does need to know, is your program working or is it not working? Um, Mostly for support. If we see that your program's working, then we don't need to prioritize, let's say, or we know that, okay, it's on track, right? So we can leave it to yourself. But if we see that it's not working, then we need to prioritize that. We work as a funnel now. So any part that's broken is broken for the entire company. So we need to know exactly where the breakdowns are. So that's what the campaign cards for your particular context are indicating. Where is there a breakdown? Where is there things that are not working the way we expect it to? What you actually do is your own business, right? You could be, you could be doing this, you could be doing that. All we need to know is what is your input and what is your output. So yeah, it could be like that, right? So what is the total number of inquiries? What is the converted inquiries? What is the total request to book? What is the total, and what is the update on that from week to week? So we can see even more simple than that is the end result, which is what is your conversion rate so far?
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
What is your conversion rate? And tell us if that conversion rate is going higher or lower. Um, that's kind of it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You. So I have another question actually.
Yeah.
So, who is responsible to make a new campaign? I mean, is it the
The
person on
person,
A or
the
yes, sir? Okay.
person in charge of the SLA creates the campaigns that then
Mm-hmm.
support their SLA. So the SLA is a goal,
Yep.
but
Yep.
a goal is not work. A goal is just a vision. It's an idea. The actual work is creating. All right, what will you do? What sort of activity will you do to generate the result of that goal? Remember, when we're selling services, you got to think of it in a way that's a little bit different. It's not like that service should ever stop, right? So it has to be sort of like the goal is continuous, and the service will be also a way to continuously address that goal. So then you're looking for essentially how do I get better at doing what I'm doing? How do I get better at doing what I'm doing? Yeah, and so the person then in charge of the SLA code, so the campaigns, and then their pivots support the campaign, and we just don't need to talk about the pivots unless they say that, hey, look, I'm coming to you, everyone, to discuss my pivot has collapsed. It's not working. I'm not getting the results I expect out of the pivot. So I'm asking for everyone to take a look, see
Yeah.
what can I do differently. Okay, that's the only time really somebody should be talking about their pivot. Otherwise, just talk about your top level goals and talk about what new ideas that you have or what you would like other people to help you with, or if you need to delegate something. That is what we discuss about.
Okay. So
Okay.
thank you, thank you, thank you. So then maybe I will need to meet again the HAR and what discuss about this.
Okay. We're gonna see everybody in what at
Fine.
9 o'clock, yeah, or yeah, 9 o'clock Georgia. So we'll get together and we'll sort of spread out this knowledge and information.
Yes.
It'll take a few times before we get it, but I think once we get it, it should be more lucid, right? What the situation is. Um, okay, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, on inquiry optimization, you need to open that up again.
I'm sorry, sir. Which
For inquiry optimization, just go ahead and open that up again. HAR2 on campaigns.
yes, yes, HR2.
Yeah, open that card, please. Okay, yeah. All right. So I realized we didn't do something right here. I think we can make it more simple in a way. Just total inquiries and request to book. So both of them combined, and then total conversion, right?
Oh, okay.
So
Total.
just kind of make it one, and then yes, total inquiry, total request to book.
Oh, and then I think we'll be like this, sir. Total inquiry, uh, inquiry conversion. Sorry, P.2. Total request to book.
That's the same that we had before. Right?
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, what we're doing is we're going to combine both, right? We're going to combine both to make it a little bit easier. So just write total inquiries and request to book at RTBs, maybe.
Yep. Like this, sir.
No, in one stage of the funnel. So the first stage of the funnel is total inquiries and total request to book.
Oh yeah, total inquiry and total request approved.
Okay, and then total. Um, I don't know, like activities. What kind of activity? Total number of times the program has been implemented.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. The activity of Nadine Pivot, right?
Yeah. Total program activity. Yeah. And then the conversions, total number of whatever it is.
Total conversion of inquiry and also.
Yes, exactly. You got it. So you see, this then creates the correct mindset, right? We don't know currently how many times Nadine is even implementing the program, right?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
And who's tracking that, really, right? Who's helping to track that? Let's say that's the blind spot that we have. Let's say Nadine says we were going to do a certain type of follow-up procedure. Okay? Okay, great. So how many times have we done that? We don't know, right? We're not counting. But with this, you can make sure that everyone counts. So, for example, say you get some new interns. So they're going to be doing their job. And then when Nadine asks, "Hey, how many times have you used my new procedure?" They'll go like, "What? I don't know. What's your procedure?" And then they'll be like, okay, obviously it isn't working, right? So then you need to come up with a way to track this, right? You need to come up with, all right, so every time an intern does it, then maybe they go over to a card or whatever, and they just mark, I've done it once, okay? So that Nadine knows. Maybe you keep a scoreboard somewhere on all the inquiries that are coming in, and you can document that, right? So after each inquiry, you could have a paper, or Nadine can have a paper, and it could be the link to the inquiry, first column, who's answering it, second column, the technique that you're applying, and then that's it, right? So after you do the inquiry, you put that in the scoreboard, and then people know, oh, okay, that's what we did. So that's how we know, Andre, if the program is actually being distributed. Otherwise, you don't know. Maybe nobody is actually using the new program, right? So this method will help you understand that. Now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this is why Nadine is the champion, but she needs the cooperation of everybody in her chapter to report their results, right? So who actually did the thing and who closed the deal, all those type of things. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Noted.
Okay.
Noted.
All right. So that's okay. That's on that. Let's go to your particular funnel. So your funnel is on hosting management. So let's give that a shot.
Hmm.
Your thing is very similar, actually, Andre. So da 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 da. Da. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So your thing is pretty simple. It's the total number of check-ins,
Yeah, yeah.
and then the total number of times you apply your program.
Oh, I shouldn't delete that.
No, it's okay. It's at the bottom, right? It's at the bottom.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's on the bottom.
Yeah. There you go.
Copy this total check-ins, total program implemented, total checkout.
Oh wait. You're not doing from check-in. You're doing from reservation, right?
I'm doing from both actually, sir. Reservation to keep them there. Checkout is to keep them have a good
Right. You're,
Yeah.
you're, you're covering the funnel from reservation to checkout.
Okay, ready to. I'm coming from reservation. What, sir?
You're checking the funnel from reservation to checkout, not
Yeah,
from reservation to checkout.
yeah.
So, okay, you don't need to measure the check-ins then, because that doesn't matter, right? Just the total number of reservations. There you go. Total number of times the program's been implemented and total checkout. Right, and that's all anybody needs to know, right? Um,
Yes, sir.
Yep, and that's all anybody really needs to know. They just need to know how much went into your program, how many
Ah.
times did you execute your program, and then what is the what's the result, right?
Mhm.
So for this one, you're gonna have to. This will create a really good exercise, which is how are you gonna measure how many times your program is being implemented? So that's a good question. I'll let you guys think about that and come up with a measurement technique, because this will ultimately let you know. This is your vehicle now, Andre. This is making sure that when you do this, um, a vehicle allows anybody to drive it. That's the idea. So let's say what you have here is you have like a you have God. I can't think of a good analogy. Let's say you have a printer. Okay, you have a printer now. You don't have to write everything by hand, which you
Yeah.
used to have to do. And what's cool is you can change the ink on the printer. How? You just change the program, right? So, or you change whatever it is you're doing, the pivot. The pivot is your ink, and the program is your printer. So, let's say, for example, you want to change the ink. You want to use a different type of guest engagement idea. So then you just change it, but your program then remains the same, right? Your program is you're still treasuring how many check-ins, how many times you're implementing the new program, and then what that result will look like, right? And this is really cool because what it will allow you to do is it will allow you to change the pivots, and you
Mhm.
can see if it's making the program better or worse. Say, for example, you're using whatever you're using today. What strategy? What are you using today as a pivot to increase the conversion rate from reservations to checkouts?
I think we're still using the follow up system, sir.
Okay, follow-up system, right? So the follow-up system is your ink cartridge. You're using that for the moment, and you can see what the results are. Let's say one day you say, "Hey, this isn't working so well. I'd like to change it. I'd like to use a video chat program or whatever, right? Like something else that you create." Well, then the question would be, obviously, is this going to work better or worse? And then you would know from looking at the numbers. Okay, all right. Before my numbers are at this amount, I'm converting about 80% of reservations into checkouts. But after I started using the new program, it's down to 40%. So obviously, my previous system was better, right? So this allows you to be very objective about what particular pivots are activating which particular campaigns, okay? So
Mm.
that then becomes your guiding principle for how to create this. Now, this is good. You've already now set up these different programs, and you've essentially delegated it to each person. Now it's up to each person to figure it out, right? Let's go back up to the loyalty program again. Let's just double check if we have an activity space there. Yeah, we have an activity space there, which is guest outreach, right? That's what we're calling the program activity at this point.
Mhm.
Uh, Perhaps whatever it is. Okay, so it's pretty simple then, right? It's what is your input, what is your activity, what is your output. Done, right?
Um, Cracking. Hello, sir.
Yep.
It's cracking. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Okay, I think I noted that at least on the every funnel of the campaign, we have the activities to make sure that there are something that can we do about the campaign itself to support the
Hey,
SL.
that's it. That's it. So yeah, this will be good. This is very very powerful structure now. Now you as a lead can see what's going on and what's happening right at each particular layer of your SLAs. Now that's good. So now you have programs for three of the SLAs, but you still have nothing with the finance report and nothing with the
Mm-hmm.
team development yet. So those perhaps are going to be programs that you're going to have to think about, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to think about, okay, how do I delegate this to somebody? What will it look like? It will probably look like something similar. How many finance support situations did we get? How many have we completed successfully? Da, 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 da. It's just that statistic, right? Whatever that is, and we track that. If you don't track it, it won't get done, right? Simple as that. It won't ever get prioritized. So you're going to have to find a way to track it. You can come back to me because I'm not entirely sure what the finance report is. Could you open that SLA? It's ESLA 4. And okay, within 3 days, 100%
Yeah.
correctly. Okay, all right.
Related about the things that we've done with the direct ping, because we have to add payout manually. If we don't do edit payout, there will be no payout
Okay,
report. And the
okay,
second one is about the pricer,
right.
because there's if there's this thing.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. Understood, understood. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to look at probably a few things, right? What I would track is the total number of reservations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what is the number of reservations that get flagged for price adjustment? And then what is the number of resolved cases? So total number of reservations, flagged, and resolved cases. The reason I would do that is that it allows you to have an understanding of, I believe the number of flagged cases should be consistent over time. It should be maybe 3 to 4%, right? So you'll know if you're not flagging often enough.
Tracking, sir.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So you'll know, Andre, by looking at what the total number of reservations versus the total number of let's say problem or price adjustment flagged reservations. By looking at that ratio, you will know if there's something going right or wrong. Right? Let's say on the first week it's 5%, and then the next week it's 20%. Then you'll go, what? How did that grow? Wait, are we doing this right? Doesn't feel like it, right? But let's say it goes, let's say from 5% to 1%. Then you might start asking yourself, maybe we're not detecting enough cases because that seems pretty low, right? So I think if you have that as your measurement systems, you as a lead, everybody can detect if there's a problem with the flagging. So, and then team development. What does that one look like, Andre?
This is just about with between me and Ara. So this is chapter lead SLA to report about the members. Well, yeah, just to give a report to the chapter to the HR about the team members. So
Okay,
I basically do that some kind of sort of with Nadine and every people actually, like, what's your feedback for me? What's your feedback for her
very
during this time? I
good, very
think.
good. Okay, that's a great thing. So, ultimately, that I believe is supporting your team retention. And that's good. When the team members feel that you are more present, more available, they'll trust you more and they'll do better work. So the ultimate, I guess, statistic on that is what is your team growth rate, right? Like how many people are on your team versus how many people are leaving your team. Remember, it's the turnover rate is number of people who leave divided by the number of people who, what was it, join plus the number of people who are there divided by 2, right?
I'm not sure about how to measure that, sir.
Oh, turnover is pretty simple. It's actually it's easy. It's leavers, the number of
Yeah.
people who leave the team, and it's divided by this number. The number is your starting team size, your
Uh,
end team size divided by 2.
oh, divided again by two.
Yeah. So let's say you start the year with a team of 5. You
Mm-hmm.
end the year with a team of 7, right? Okay, so then your average team size during the period of time that you're measuring your turnover is 6. 5 plus 7 divided by 2. Okay? Then, during the same time, if 2 people leave your team, then your turnover rate is 2 divided by 6, which is about 30%, right? So then that's essentially what you need to measure. That's a 30% loss. So you don't divide 2 by 5 because that doesn't make any sense because you're why then your team's bigger now, right? So your turnover should be actually a proportion of the size of your team. But you don't
Mm-hmm.
divide it by 7 either because you didn't have 7 people the whole time, right?
Yeah.
So you have to divide it by the average size of the team at the beginning and at the end of the period that you're.
Oh, yeah.
So then that gives you kind of like the understanding of, okay, how big was the size of the team during the mid trade. So that is probably how you would measure your team development, right? So your inputs are actually pretty simple. Your inputs are average size of team, right? And then the number of people leaving,
People living. Yeah.
and the number of times you've done this program,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
right? So your average team size right now is I don't know. Actually, let's say since March. March,
Uh,
how many people did you have on your team?
we have 5, I guess.
Okay, and now how many people do you have on your team?
3.
Right, you have a smaller team now, right?
Yeah.
Caroline,
I'm sorry, sir.
with Caroline, with the interns.
I'm not counting with Caroline, but now far we have 4 with intern.
Okay, and how many will you have now in a few days?
I forget how to make sure. I don't know.
I think
It's
you're gonna get 2 or 3 more.
between 7 and 4, right, sir? 8, 5, and 4, right?
Yeah, but after, let's say in about a week's time, how many will you have?
5. Plus 2, I guess. It's and then 5, sir.
Okay,
Total.
you're gonna get Natasha, and you're gonna get somebody else too, right?
Natasha is confirming that she withdraw the intern, sir, because
You did.
yeah, she did because the college thing.
Okay, that's too bad. Okay, all right. So 0 HARs then.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
You got 0 new HARs on your team.
Currently, yes, because yeah, the new
Oh,
one is coming at 8, sir.
wow. Okay.
I have contacted Rafik and Randy, just to help during this meantime because we have. I believe Tista will join because she's already here before, and
Right. Okay. Good. That's good news then. All right.
yeah,
We got at least one. Okay. So that's basically how you calculate the average. You just calculate what is your current
starting
size team, and then what was the team
in
size
the
you
end of the
started
month.
with, right? And then divide, and that will give you essentially the team development. You can also count, let's say, I think you can also start thinking about milestones for your team. So this was something that I talked about at the last HAR discussion. What are the milestones of progress? What does it show that you are getting better? So let's say the first time we delegate an SLA to you, that's going to be the first milestone. That shows that you're PCI competent now, right? Um, the first time that you create a pivot, that could be PJI competent. The first time you're involved in a project, right? Maybe the next milestone is the first time that you've actually improved an SLA. You've taken the SLA and you were able to push it to a higher level. Maybe the next milestone is the first time that you came up with your own campaign, right? And then the next milestone could be the first time your campaign then went into production. So those could be essentially like the way that I would see the different ways to build up milestones to get us to where we want to go. But anyway, that one I think should have some structure to it, so that I can get it right. But what I'd like you to do, Andre, is to create the next 2 pivot cards for the finance report and
Yes.
for the team development on your own, and just show me when you're done, right? So that I can
Yeah.
see and review that progress. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Great. That's pretty much it. Anything else that you would like to discuss?
Uh, Currently, no, sir. Actually,
Okay.
so will you come at 10 p.m. after this?
Yeah, I'll come. It's you guys are doing the demo for me, right? So I'll see how. I guess there won't be much of a demo because we just came up with this, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to say that.
But let's at least discuss it and tell everybody, okay, this is a new plan that we have, and let's see what they come up with. Yeah?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, great. I'll see you, Andre, in 10 minutes then. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your advice, sir.
Absolutely. I'm very happy to help. All right. See you in a bit. Bye bye.